Hey everyone, Randy here again. Thanks for coming to my channel, Committed to Completion. In today's episode, what I want to go over is what are the traits for building a strong project team? A project team that feels empowered, is accountable, and enjoys working together. I think when we think about project management, building a team is going to be probably the first and most important step in making sure your project is going to be successful. And at times, you have control of that. Other times, you don't, in terms of like which resources are available or not. In the end of the day, there's things that you can do to make sure that the team you build is going to be set up for success. They're going to feel that they can take on the challenges that are coming to them in this project, that they can do it with support, and they can do it and have a fun time doing it, enjoy a joyful time doing it. So, what's 3 traits as a leader that you need to make sure that that you can take on, that you can work on to achieve that with your project team? One is this concept of servant leadership. This is actually a concept that's been talked about and promoted by a gentleman by the name John Maxwell. He's wrote many wonderful leadership books, and a lot of them center around the idea of servant leadership. So what is that? Servant leadership is the idea that as a leader, you are there to serve or be the support for your team. That in the end of the day, your success depends on the success of your team members, their ability to grow, their ability to be to accomplish the tasks that you set them to do. And in this model, you're doing whatever you need to do to make sure that they're moving forward and they're growing and they're achieving the task at hand. So that's a servant leadership model. Versus in other models, the idea is that all the people who are working on a team are working toward helping the team leads, if you will, be successful. So servant leadership is really the opposite. As a leader, I'm working to understand how can I make you, my team members, successful. So a key activity you can do to achieve that is just have regular one-on-ones with your team. Again, this seems very simple, but it's very powerful. These are the times where you get to connect intimately with your team members to understand what are the big problems that they're facing, what are their concerns, things that they may not want to voice in a large meeting because for one reason or another they don't feel comfortable with that. And that's okay. This is the purpose of the one-on-one meetings, so that you can connect on that close level with your team members. Second, in those one-on-one meetings, connect with them on a personal level. Yes, we want to make sure that we're going and covering anything around projects and the business around projects, but this is an opportunity to get to know your team members if you don't already know them already on a personal level. What are their likes? Do they have do they have family? What are their hobbies? What is it that in the end of the day motivates them to come to work? And what do they see themselves doing in the next 2-3 years that right now, the work they're doing right now is going to set them up for achieving that? So do the one-on-one. They're very, very important. Facilitate a collaborative environment. That's another aspect of that thing that you can do to really achieve that servant leadership model. So this is really creating opportunities for team members to interact, whether that's within the project or outside of the project. This can be as simple as coordinating lunches. This can be as simple as taking breaks and going out for a quick walk around the block. That's something that I do with my teammates, is that, hey, let's not be indoors all day. Let's go out and enjoy the sun. So again, it doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be very simple, and it could be elaborate. It could be something where, hey, let's organize after work a happy hour, or just getting together, maybe doing activity like miniature golf, something of that nature, where again you're bringing people together and having a good time, and for those folks to basically understand, hey, I invested in helping making sure that my teammate is successful and feel that they are also invested in helping me be successful at the work that I have to do on this project. Another big concept that's very important for building a strong team is, as a leader, having empathy and understanding. And what do I mean by that? Your team is going to go through tough times. Every project that I've managed, it's never gone to plan. There's always been some roadblocks. There's always been some challenges, and some, easy. Some challenges and roadblocks are easier than others in certain projects. In the end of the day, people are going to react differently. Some people on your team are going to see small problems and react very big to them. Some may look at big problems and not react at all. Both are concerning, but again, it just reflects indifferent, but it just reflects that then you have people on your team who will experience different experience challenges differently. So be empathetic. Meet them at their level. Come with understanding of where they're coming from, what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. This allows you to be in connection with them. This allows you to then, once you're in connection to them, support them, influence them, inspire them. So that empathy understanding is going to become a long way to making sure that your team, when they come to hit certain challenges in the project, that you kind of understand what they're going through and that you're there for them. And that if you're going to tell them that, hey, it's going to be okay because we're going to do X, Y, and Z, they'll be able to believe you because you have developed an understanding of where they're coming from. Trust. It comes down to trust. As you want to build that trust with your team members, and part of that is sitting down and connecting with them when they're having these challenges or big issues. Another thing is just, on the flip side of that is to celebrate the accomplishments. As we go through the projects, not only we're going to hit roadblocks and issues, but we're also going to be able to achieve milestones, overcome challenges, get those wins from time to time on the project. So let's acknowledge that. Let's make people understand that, hey, what you did was a great accomplishment. Thank you for the effort. Thank you for putting that extra time. Thank you for helping your teammates be successful. Again, it doesn't take a lot, but it will have major impact on your team member to kind of feel that they are recognized, that they are valued. Next, as a leader, to build that team that feels empowered, that they feel that they are set for success, is to make sure that you, as a project manager, take the time up front to set clear goals and have clear communication of those goals and that vision. A lot of times, and this is me even in my early years, I would just jump, people would just jump into a project. I would just jump into a project saying, hey, we have a problem. Okay, let's go try X, Y, and Z and see if it fixes, if it fixes the problem. I think it will, right? Under our own kind of just quick thinking and action, we'll be able to solve this problem. And what we realize is that taking the time to first understand what's really the problem will help us to really understand what is it that we need to do in terms of the work. What is it that the goal should be? I'll give you an example here. Early in my career, I had the pleasure of working on microfluidic technology. And I was working with a biotech company, and we were working to create this very cool technology where we dispense really small droplets of liquid down to the picoliter. And if you guys don't understand how small picoliter is, it literally looks like a pin drop or kind of a pimple, if you will, like a really small pimple or a really small pore on your skin. Like it's really that small of a little drop of liquid. And we would be able to dispense these little drops in a very controlled manner. And when we started doing this, we just were kind of trying stuff out. We're just like, hey, we have this design, and we kept on trying to figure out, what if we did this different? What if we made this piece longer? What if we hit it with more power here? So there wasn't any rhyme or reason how we're doing it. And then finally, And it really wasn't just in the goal of understanding how can we make, this device perform, I don't know, more consistently, meaning like having those drops always be the same size every time. And what we ended up doing was really taking a step back when things weren't just, we just kept on trying, when we took a step back and say, hey, what is it that we really need to achieve with this device? What is it that we're trying to do with it? Because when I got on that project, all we were seeing was like, oh, this is some really cool device. It's really cool technology. But once we sat back and started thinking about how this would be used, what is its purpose? Do they care about, the size varying by 10%, 50%? Do you still get the same result? We're able then to really then dial in the type of testing we developed. And then understand too, that in order to achieve a certain variation of the droplet size, that our environment mattered, other factors mattered. So we were able to have more controlled setups. We started doing our tests in an environmental chamber, for example, where we could really control the environment and understand, if you had a humid environment versus a dry environment, how does that affect the performance of our dispenser, which at that small volume of level matters. So eventually we ended up having much more sophisticated test plans, better electronics to control and change how we were controlling our dispenser, and really then started achieving much better performance, which we understood now that quality and performance would translate into more consistent test results, where they were using this for drug development, for example. And it was important that we made sure that these small droplets of liquid that we're delivering, whatever solution or agent, that consistency mattered in the end result that they were doing in terms of the assay or experiment that they were running. So again, very technical, but the key thing there is that when you take a step back and understand what is it that you're trying to achieve, and carefully ask the right questions to understand what is it that we're trying to achieve, what is the problem that we're really trying to solve, you're able then to make sure that then you set clear and concise and smart goals that then will help you achieve your overall project goals. So again, in order to build strong project teams that feel empowered, that feel supported, that enjoy what they're working on, 3 traits that you can then take on as that project leader is: be a servant leader. Understand what is it that's gonna take to make sure that each team member is going to be successful at what they do. Second, have a level of empathy and understanding. Really connect with your team members as they not only encounter challenges, but also recognize them for when they hit big milestones and make big achievements. And third, constantly understand what is it that you're trying to solve. Your problem may change as the project moves along. You may realize that the problem we're solving was this one day, and now it's this plus another thing, right? Constantly understand the vision for your project. What is it that we're trying to achieve? What are the goals? What are the requirements? And effectively communicate that to your team. Take the time to say, hey, we just had a change. Let's go over the changes that are happening right now. And this is why it's changing. And this is who it's going to impact. As much as we want to get to the end of a project, get to the finish line, the more that we can make sure that along the way, we as project leaders, project managers, are able to effectively communicate the goals and requirements of our project and set up our teams for success and connect with them when they're having challenges, getting to that, completing their work, as well as recognizing when they've worked hard and have completed it. We will be able to build teams that feel empowered, that feel confident, that feel they're supported, and at the end of the day, they want to continue to work with you as a project leader because they feel that you have set them up for success, that you have cared about them, that you have valued them and recognized that value in the work they've done. So for all my project managers out there, I'm excited for you to take these traits, really kind of look at them, understand how you can embody them, apply them to what you to your projects today. And if you have questions on, again, anything I talked about today, like really how do you apply, how do I take on those traits? How do I really effectively apply, conduct my one-on-ones? Or how do I effectively, create collaboration? How do I effectively, connect with my team members? Shoot me a comment. We'll chat more about it in the comments, or we can find a time to connect one-on-one and see where I can help you grow as a project leader, help you grow as a project manager. Again, thanks everyone. This is Randy from Committed to Completion. I look forward to connecting with you soon.